Good day and welcome back, physicians, and to the new students. Welcome to PCS. Let us all greet and embrace this new school year wholeheartedly with a smile in our hearts. Advancing to the new normal phase in education is both a challenge for students like you and for us teachers. Education constantly progresses and evolves, thus contesting us to adapt to it. During this pandemic, we believe that it should not stop us from learning new things, acquiring new knowledge, and even developing new skills. We must learn to keep up while learning and staying safe at the comfort of our home. By the way, I am Mr. Edgar Jr. Akaya, your TLA teacher for this school year. So what's in store for you? What will you be expecting from our subject? Stay tuned and So we'll now proceed to our first ever lesson under our main topic, which is to clean, sanitize, and store kitchen tools and equipment. Of course, cookery not only involves cooking, it also deals with different ways and means of making sure that where you cook and what you use in cooking are clean and sanitized at all times. This will give you, particularly this lesson will give you different tips in cleaning and sanitizing these tools or your tools and equipment before and after using them. Cleaning is also a skill. Did you know that washing dishes is one of the highest paid services overseas, particularly in a cruise ship or a restaurant? A worthy skill you can use in a day-to-day basis. So what we are aiming for today is for you to recognize kitchen tools and equipment to be clean and sanitized at the end of this lesson. So we'll now proceed with our first lesson, which is the kitchen tools and equipment for day 1. So let us first start with the different cooking materials commonly found in your kitchen. So the first one we have here is the aluminum, which is mostly used in the kitchen and the most popular because it is lightweight, attractive, and less expensive. And the next one is the stainless steel. It is also one of the most popular material used for tools and equipment, but it is more expensive compared to an aluminum. The next one is a glass, which is used for salad making and dessert, but not practical for top or surface cooking. We also have here the cast iron, which is a durable kind of cooking material but must always be kept oiled to avoid rusting. This one is commonly used in baking purposes. Next one is a double boiler. This one is used when temperature must be kept below boiling, such as egg sauces or different kinds of sauces, pudding, and food to keep them warm without overcooking. The last one of course you are very much familiar with this one, is the Teflon. This one is a special coating applied inside aluminum or steel pots and pans. It prevents food from sticking to the pan. So those are your different cooking materials. Let us now proceed to your kitchen tools. We have the first one, which is the can opener. So this can opener is a mechanical tool which helps in opening cans and can also function to open bottles. You may have seen a video of a kitchen hack opening a can sideways. Yes, it works, but the can itself can cause harm like cuts because it is exposed. Unlike opening it in the normal way, you can easily just push back the cover of the can to avoid such harm. And once you notice the gears and the blade rusting, discard the tool properly. And to avoid this one, avoid your tools from rusting, properly air dry or towel dry the tools to lessen the chances of them rusting. Now I'd like you to identify this tool in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if your answer is a garlic press, you are correct. So aside from using power tools like food processors and kitchen knife to chop or mince garlic, this tool is specifically designed for the job. Simply feed the skinned garlic inside the tool and press it until the garlic oozes out of the holes. Next one is a colander. This is also called a vegetable strainer. So aside from cleaning vegetables, it can also be used to clean your meats and poultries or other food items in huge quantity. It is made of stainless steel which is perforated, or it comes with a lot of opening for draining the water from the food. Next tool is the grater. As you can read from the description, it is used to grate, shred, slice, and separate foods. Grating is a term used in cooking which means to turn foods into smaller pieces or particles, like grated cheese. Shredding, on the other hand, means turning food into strips like shredded cabbage or shredded chicken. And slicing is making food into thin, flat piece, which can all be found in the grater tool from side to side, from a fine to a coarse option. On to the next one, we have the plastic and hard rubbers. So these are used for cutting and chopping. Plastics are greatly durable and cheap, but may not last long. They may somehow bend or break when using it in the long run. Now, how about this tool? What do you call this one? It may look like your ordinary scissors, but it is not. It belongs to the family of scissors, and its proper name is a kitchen shear or a shear. It functions from opening bottles, cutting foods, to cracking hard-shelled nuts. This tool should always be within the kitchen premises. Using this for cutting your hair or to cut dead leaves of plants and then using this again in the kitchen may be the cause of food contamination or food poisoning if not cleaned properly. Next one is the cutting board or a chopping board. This tool is something to use to protect your countertop or tables from scratches made by the blades of the knives. Did you know we have different color-coded chopping boards? Of course, I think you already have an idea regarding this, but let me ask this to you once again. So how many colors of chopping boards are there? Now, if you answered 6, you are correct. Or 7, because we have an additional chopping board. So we at least have 7. Now, the first one, which is the red chopping board, this one is for raw meat or your raw poultry. For the blue one, this is for your raw fish. The third one, this is where you cut your cooked meat, such as your cooked poultry or cooked fish. Next one, we have the white chopping board, which is intended for bakery and dairy, for your breads, for your cheese, for your tofus, for your margarine, for your butter. You use a white chopping board. And for the green one, we have the salad and the fruits. The brown one is for your vegetables, and the addition to the family of chopping boards is the violet, which is for allergen food, just as your nuts, your shellfish, you have your shrimp, you also have your eggs, anything that can cause allergic reactions. You also have your nuts as well. Next is the potato masher. With the use of this tool, you can easily mash your foods. The thing about this tool is that it is just an aid in the process of making mashed food. You can also use different kinds of tools such as your fork to mash your foods. This is just an additional or an aid in the process. We also have the funnel. It is used to fill jars either in liquid or in powder form. This tool is used to avoid mess when transferring the liquid or powder in another container, such as pickle juice or brine solution. Next one is a rotary egg beater. It is used for beating small amounts of eggs or butter. This is a mechanical type of tool which is also considered as an auxiliary tool, which means those that assist or aid in a specific kind of activity. So instead of using a war whisk to perform beating, a rotary egg beater is preferred to do it more conveniently and easily. Next one is a rubber scraper, or also known as a rubber spatula. This is either made out of silicone or rubber. If you have noticed, they are also color-coded or simply colored. The main or the standard scraper used in cooking is the white one. The colored scrapers are used in particular types of sauces, such as tomato sauce, hollandaise, or white sauces, etc. So if you are to prepare a tomato sauce which is colored red, you have to use the red colored scraper. Never use a white one, since the color can transfer to the scraper and you will have a hard time cleaning it. Next is the temperature scale, or a meat thermometer. This is used to measure heat intensity, such as for your meats, for candy, or deep fat frying and other kinds of foods. Small thermometers are hang or stand in ovens or refrigerators to check the accuracy of the equipment's thermostat. The last one is your serving spoon. So these utensils, consisting of a small shallow bowl and a handle, used in preparing and serving or eating foods. So these are considered a serving spoon because they are meant to scoop foods from a plate or from a pan or from a pot, but never meant for cooking. The term you see used for eating food is not necessarily as into it using it, but just to taste the food, since they are bigger in size compared to a regular or standard spoon. So this is the end of our discussion for day one. I have prepared an activity, so please don't forget to answer. And I do hope you learned something from this lesson. Thank you and have a great day. God bless.